Steve Jones here with the Hardscape channel and also for the School for Advanced Segmental Paving. I've got with me Dan Lichty, who you've probably seen before on the Hardscape channel, and instructor at Hawkeye Community College.
Yep.
Dan?
I see you, Steve.
Thanks for coming to Hardscape North America.
Oh, this is a great conference. I love to bring the students here every year. Just talking to you about, going through PaveTech and going through your class and stuff, and a lot of stuff that you taught us now we're bringing back to our own classroom back at Hawkeye. One of the things that I was speaking to you about was we've just built a new building, or they're in the process of building a new building, and the stuff that I learned at PaveTech we're now taking back to Hawkeye. One of the things that you have a problem with in our industry is being able to train the people that are already out there working, and with our new building, something that I got from PaveTech was having an open area for where we could show people how to lay pavers and stuff, like in the winter when most landscape companies aren't as busy. So what we've done is the new building will take and have half the building will have still dirt floors, and we'll actually be bringing students, I'll say students from companies out there in our area to actually show them the PaveTech way.
well, I'm not going to take. We're not going to take any credit for the PaveTech way. I guess, as you well know from working with us, that we take the best of what we see from contractors everywhere, and we the only thing we judge is it efficient? Is it safe for the guys? I mean, ergonomic, and it's efficient. Make money. Does it do a good job? And if it meets all that stuff, then we want to teach it to you. I have no vested interest in a tip or trick or technique. What's the best is the best.
Well, and you want to know something? I can kind of see where you're coming from there, and I do agree with you, because when I sat there and your eyes kind of lit up when I said, I'm taking what I learned from you and I'm teaching it, and PaveTech's not really getting anything off it except for eventually better workers out there in our field. Looking at some of the films and stuff that we were looking at, one of the things I really liked was, and what I try to tell my students, I said, we're from Waterloo, Iowa, and we're a blue-collar town. And we got great workers, we got great students, but I said one of the things we don't get to see is the big jobs, the unique jobs in our town. So one of the things I try to get my students to do is to go out into the industry and find somebody else that's maybe a hardscape company or a landscape company in a larger city where they get to work on that unique job. And a lot of times what they do is then they bring it back and I get to learn from them.
There you go. Share.
The one thing about it is our industry, it's a never-changing, or it's ever-changing. It's ever-changing. You're learning new stuff all the time, and it's wonderful to do that. I think the time that you think that you know or that you don't have to know is the time you better get out of the industry, because you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, there's some stories about some people that are here today to show I don't need to prove anything. I'm already the best. You get it? Wow. Congratulations.
Maybe today, but not tomorrow.
Have you been out to the demo tent, the training tent yet?
We just got here, got the students all registered in, and so they're kind of wandering around right now, and that's where we're going to be heading.
You got it, yeah, because I tell you what, I've been out there with Pat McCrindle, and he's got this thing set up. It's magnificent what he did this year. Plus, they got the installer competition going on out there right now, every 2 hours.
Yeah, it's, tell you what, it's so hard to get through everything because it is such a large show.
Yeah.
And you start to talk to people, and that's one thing nice about the show is that everybody you talk to will sit there and talk to you.
Yeah.
And for my students, it's you guys are going to see the latest and the greatest. Everything that that you're not going to see everywhere. Stopping at everybody's booth, everybody's got something new every year. And I said, when you stop going to stuff like this, is when you get left behind.
Yep. And it's interesting. I just had one of our very old customers come yesterday. I see him he's at the show every year. Wherever I go, he's always there. And I don't know how old Bob is now, but, well into his 60s, and still, he's looking, wants to get better, wants to get faster. We got a chance to actually discuss, that's too expensive. He goes, Bob, what's expensive is that payroll at the end of the week when you got to pay everybody. You said, that's killing you. I said, spend some money. It was about over a $26,000 clamp about moving layers on separating layers in his monster dealer yard so that he could repack layer at a time because he wants his customers want them blended. But it requires a very specialized clamp from Probst in Germany. And no, it's not cheap. But I said, how many man hours? He said, I don't even have enough men. I said, exactly. Spend the money. This is an investment. Now you're going to have a piece of equipment that's going to last you well into your son's taking over the business, and it keeps paying back every day. And that's what we got to teach people. You got to quit looking at just the dollar number, scares them off. And no, long term, is there a return on that investment, or is it an expense?
Yeah, well, that's a lot of it is you can't always, and you know, so many people when you talk to them, they look at their upfront cost. Well, yeah, it's going to cost you this much now, but if you have this for 20 years and you take that out over 20 years, it's very, very minimal on what the cost actually is.
Absolutely.
But it's convincing. It's teaching.
Convincing, cajoling, whatever you want to call it. And you know, probably the people that know this the best are the people that are least able to convince a contractor, and that's the accountant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very much so.
They can't explain nothing to nobody. They can take a number and they can do a lot of things, but for some reason they have very few communication skills.
They want to stay in their office.
Yeah. Well, Dan, I want to thank you for stopping by today. It's great seeing you again, and I look forward to hearing more stories about the students and the stuff they bring back to Iowa.
Yes. Steve, thanks a lot for having me.
Hey.
And I got to get back to your booth and see what else you
Cool.
have.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.